Uganda First, a program that brings you closer to your country to understand how exactly you're grounded as a person, the values, the principles, and not only that, what makes you unique from any other person around the world, and not only that, in the region, on the continental level. What makes you unique is this program, you understanding it and possibly tapping into the possibilities that are. You'll only understand it when you understand Uganda First. My name is Andrew Chamagero, Muntua Wansi. And today we are coming to you live from Kazi. Now, this is one of the places. I was here in 2004 as a young scout. I went through this place, the challenge values and all. It gave me values I hold up to today. But today we are here with a couple of people. We had the Uganda Railway Corporation team. They were undergoing through the drills and the mentorship from the Patriotism Corporation. In a way, they're lucky. This is the second time they're coming. And this conversation, it's something we long for every other day. This program, just remind you, it's sponsored by the National Patriotism Secretariat Corps. Be a part of this conversation on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, as well as YouTube of NTV Uganda. Today, we're going to talk more about what it means to raise a dignified, intentional citizen. And with me, I have the MD, the Managing Director of the Uganda Railway Corporation, Mr. Sendegea Stanley. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you.
It is an honor.
Thank you.
And again, from the Ministry of Works, I have the Director of Transport, Mr. Kajuna Benon. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Now, this entire conversation, I'll start off with you, Benon. You as a director, where you are and at the level where you're sitting at strategy level, operations is a little bit on the lower end, but what you do at the top affects the ones that are down. I want us to start from our generation. What do you see when you look at the citizens today?
Thank you very much for that question. What I see really citizens today is that they are ready for change. And one of the things we have to look at is to have a mindset change. And this one can be done if you have a shared vision as an institution. An institution must have a shared vision from the top. Not only must you have it from the top, you must be able to share it down to the people who do the day-to-day work. And this is something we have been trying to tell the people, the ministries, the departments, the agencies. And this brings me to what we are here today. This is the same message I've been able to tell the people who have been on this training for patriotism, so that we are able to have a shared vision, move with it, and implement it.
Wow. That is what he sees. Mr. Sendegea, when you look at the generation, especially your staff, you're very lucky, MD. Twice. They come, that's a rare thing, yeah? What do you see when you see them undergoing through this course, and of course when they come back to office? What do you see?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. For us, we are back here just because of the benefits we saw on the first program. Now, the first program, when we went back, before we came, it was really a battle. Battling with staff. Why are you coming at this time? Why are you not doing this? Why didn't you account for this? But since then, you realize you no longer ask people. You don't see many people coming in late to work. You also have less issues of accountability. So really you see that this program had an issue that touched their minds, that touched them, and it touched them positively. And even those that the sharing of what happened here, the sharing of the information, you don't need to do this. This is why we are employed here. We're not the only ones that need this job. So all those things that people learn here, they go back and share them. So they make really a very positive impact. And that's why we are back here. And for us, we are saying, since Railways is going to recruit people, that's the truth of the matter. We are just starting an enterprise afresh, and we are going to have a lot of recruitment. We have decided that for us, this is our permanent home. As far as developing patriots is concerned, we are sure and guaranteed that when we do this, our results are going to be enormous. As far as our duty is concerned of delivering the railway service, as far as transportation of goods and people is concerned. So this is really, for us, a foundation that we are building for a future you are a seed that everybody will be proud of.
Wow.
Yes,
I just
thank
can't wait to be part. The other day I took a train from Kampala to where you get it, Chirinya area. I went and I sat in there. The services were good, by the way. And one of my friends told me, "Why did you choose to take a train?" I said, "No, I wanted to get the experience. Because back in the days we used to take one, it was called Tera Tera. Yeah. It used to go up to Namamve. Yes, but back in the days, yes, I used to take that one. So, Benon, when you hear what he says as a team lead of an institution at that level, he believes this to be a foundation upon which the values and the culture of the entire entity should be, grounded on. How best would we have a country if all entities would undergo through this? And if it should be done, do you see a country shifting faster than the projected plan of Vision 2040 or 50?
Yes, we should be able to know the business in which we are in. If you are in the railway transportation business, that's the business you are in. Love it, make sure that all the staff implement it. In most cases, people don't mind about the transportation costs. They don't mind.
Yeah.
But what they mind is about the transport reliability.
Yeah.
If you are moving a container from Mombasa to Kampala, you tell your customer you must I'm delivering it in 1 week, 7 days, and you deliver it in 7 days. Even if you charge $5,000, they will pay. They'll pay. And I'm happy to note that this is the vision we are moving in as government of Uganda. We are supporting Uganda Railways as Ministry of Works and Transport through financing. There are different projects and different programs which the government is giving to Uganda Railways Corporation. One is the rehabilitation of the Kampala-Maraba railway line. Already $51 million has been assured from the government of Uganda. Works are already going on.
Wow.
We are doing Tororo-Guru meter gauge rehabilitation, about $38 million with EU, support from EU. Already works are going on. We have constructed Guru Logistics Hub in Guru, where it's meant to consolidate cargo from South Sudan and from Zaire, DRC, so that you consolidate them in a container. They are able to move from Guru right to Mombasa through railways.
That is fast.
We have procured locomotives, 4 of them, to support railways. So really what we need from railways now is software change. We have done
The hardware
part
yes.
of it. So what we're doing here is software mindset change. If they can change and be able to know their vision and how they should be able to serve their customers, the better for us.
Now,
no more strikes.
When you talk about the mindset change, as a country, this is what I see. I stand to be corrected though.
Yes.
I see that our generation seems to be a little bit much more entitled. As the young generation, we're entitled. I mean, it is our time to be in these positions. Stanley should resign. Benon should resign. I mean, I need to get my entire group and gang, we get in there. Now, that takes away the processing bit. When it gets to the mindset, Benon, could you break it a little bit much more further to the family unit? Because some of us, we're parents, but we're just running away from home just to find the money. And we're not paying attention to what we're talking to our children. We're not paying attention to where do they go, who do they hang with, what kind of content are they actually taking.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's a
I don't know
very
whether
good.
I got it right. Are we an entitled generation?
yes.
I could be
Why
wrong.
not? Why not? And that's where now I have to give you some piece of advice, really.
Yeah.
That's a very good and relevant question. Right from the family, when you are teaching your children, you should teach them values, ethical values. Teach them morality. I will give an example. The staff we are now recruiting to work in the government, in the agency, not all of them.
Yes.
They just come to look for money. They don't come to work.
Paycheck, go.
Go. So, as much as the young ones will be able to come to work, of course, time will come, they'll be able to do the work, take over. But when you come to work, please make sure that you have set targets by your supervisor. Implement to achieve the set targets. Don't just come here to say, at end of the month, my check go. No, be able to be part of the system.
Yeah.
be able to re-engineer the system to make sure that you are able to deliver the vision of the organization.
Wow. Stanley, what he says is something pertinent.
Yes.
The mentality of coming, get the paycheck and go. How are you handling this from URC?
Okay. Yeah, we are really trying to show our employees that, you know, this thing is not about you as an individual. You are here just because there is a higher objective for the country, not you as a person, for the country. But now, when this person, you know, everybody can be hopeless. Anyone can be hopeless if they are not talked to. Yes, that's why some people even commit suicide. Somebody can be there.
It's actually a fact of late today. It's one of those spiking issues.
So that issue of being entitled, somebody comes but he thinks, you know, I got my appointment letter, these are the terms. The moment you touch my salary, it's a tug of war, but they don't ask now, how many hours did I deliver in the month?
Return to investment.
Yes, the moment you want to introduce a system like that clocks you the time, and you want to reduce the pay according to work done, you'll get, they'll even kill you because that is not
They
want
will
to
go
be.
unions, strike.
That shouldn't be talked about. But you know, we are trying to change that. We want to show people, you know, you come, we have our responsibility as management, as the board, as the ministry, as government, is to ensure we put in place for you a good working environment, SOPs in place, your PPEs for your work. But now for you also, you must also deliver on your part. That's why we sign a performance agreement with you. And it was laboring before to make people sign because it was like, you know,
They wouldn't understand
what is this for? But now
did they see it as a tool you're going to use to kick them out of
they see it in that way. But after you come to these programs, people really understand, okay, you know, this performance agreement is a good thing.
Because it reminds you.
It reminds us, you know, we're supposed to do this and the other and the other. And the entity will do this for me. They'll give me this, they'll give me this. But in return, I'm going to do this and this and this. So that one is helping us. Together with these programs, they help you put in place a starting point to discuss those matters of signing performance agreement, of reviewing performance every this and then, of managing accountability. Some people think that, you know, when you give me money, it's not your money. Why are you asking me for accountability? Yes. But now, because people understand, you know, there is accountability to be done. If I don't do this, it is unethical, it is immoral. You know, there is something they call ethical relativism. That maybe what is bad in China may not be bad in Uganda.
Yes.
What is good in the US may not be good in Uganda.
Yes,
no.
that's true.
For us, you know, we are saying we are humanities. What is bad for every human being. Yes, it is bad everywhere. You can't say that, you know, it is good to come late in Uganda. When you get a job in Dubai, you see people going every day. They work 24 hours, but here they don't work. They don't want to work 24 hours here.
You can't.
Maybe they would even be better off working like 16 hours in Uganda and earn slightly less, but live a good life. Yes. So we are really saying, let us understand each other. These are the terms of reference. I have responsibility here. I have my responsibility here. And these things are done for the sake of us looking at one thing, evolving this country.
Wow. The conversation keeps going on and on. The men I have are men of, you know, well-skilled understanding and experience when it gets to loving your country, and not only that, adding value to your country. Now, one pertinent issue that they keep on referring to, it's the bigger vision, the bigger call. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we're going to dig more into having a dignified citizen. Are you the one watching this program? Are you a dignified citizen? Have you done what you must do, not for the good of you, but for the good of the country? We'll take a break for now.
UGANDA FIRST.
Lamar District in a
Regulatory board. Betting is addictive and can be psychologically harmful, and it is eligible to persons above 25 years of age.
Uganda First, a conversation that is powered by the Uganda National Patriotism Corps, the Secretariat. We really want to thank them for such a commendable job. Today we are in Kazi, one of the greatest scouts ground here in Uganda, and a place where, I just came back here because I was here once before and I was still young. Today we're discussing raising a dignified citizen. With me, I have Mr. Benon from the Ministry of Transport, who happens to be a Director of Transport. And I have Mr. Stanley Sendegia, who happens to be the Managing Director of the Uganda Railway Corporation. And the conversation keeps going on. Stanley, I heard when Benon was speaking about what they have done with regards to their hardware. Yes. We have Gulu, we have, I thought you're going to talk about, we have something coming from the Vura area, from Arua side, this is coming. And all these structures that are being grounded, it's to make your work easier. Now, when this team comes here and it's all trained and they're dignified, do you, as a team leader, encourage them to equally share the same when they go back to their husbands or to their wives or to their guardians? Because this is a young workforce here.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. What we are trying to do really, it can't be with the entity alone. You will have missed it. Now, for instance, there are things that impact on the employer, but also in the house at home. We are saying, how do you reinforce these values? Accountability, whatever. Now, there are things that make you lose on morals, lose on things. Sometimes because it is so hard for you. But we are having talks with staff. For instance, we are saying, don't eat all your money. Don't eat all your money. Please, when you get your money, put it somewhere to generate another source of income for you to eat. Now, if somebody just gets all their money always and eats it, these values will fall on deaf ears because the person is always struggling. But if you help them to, now on the financial side, you can earn 1 million, but that 1 million is actually not one. It's about 3 if you took a right approach. You can put it in a mobile money agency there, you can plant a garden at home, you can do so many other things. There are so many Ugandans that can work for you and put that money there. So we are saying you are a better employee if you save part of your money, reinvest it in something, then that thing will help you and your family to live a better life. Now we're also saying, there are things you can do. You can also help communities. You can participate in communities. You are a better employee who understands that, when I'm working, I'm not only earning for my family, I'm earning for the rest of the society. My time can be contributed rather than me going to a bar every evening. I can go maybe to a church and clean up the church, or I can participate in a community road, I can join a Rotary Club. There are so many things you can do that are positively, that help us as URC. When you come to URC now to work, you look at things differently. So that's what we are doing, that let us not only focus on people doing this other work of ours.
But add value in another.
Yes. For instance, we have recently, after coming here, after the staff that left here, have proposed that, let us have a wellness club at URC.
Wow.
We have formed one because of this. The club has started. We have our grounds there. And our patron actually is the Minister of State for Transport now. And now you can see that people are thinking, now when we finish work at 5, let us first go and do some sports.
Before
we go home, yes. So they are going to do that. We are going to form some other small clubs, and things are going to be better. So the hardware that government is putting in money can only be reinforced by us really putting this program of people now, the individuals, to make it a bit broader and more long-lasting and sustainable. So as URC, we can't have enough money to cater for everything that you need as an employee. But we can help you to live a better life, even where you don't need money. There are things that you can do. We encourage people, not all of you should need to buy a car. You don't have to struggle when we are the ones doing the passenger service.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Do you know what happened, Stanley? When we had COVID-19, the very first lockdown, and they said we have only essentials moving.
Yes.
A couple of my friends who stay in Boyogede and Chileka, they used to come to the Uganda area. And 4 p.m. they would always leave work around like 3 p.m. because we had clusters.
Okay.
So they would leave at 3 and go down, get their ticket, and wait.
Okay.
In the square there. When they see us approaching, they would, and I'm like, how much does it take you from Kampala to Chileka?
Yes.
Man said it's 1,000. I said, wait a minute. How about we would have this going around? Now, for us in Chihuahua, we can't access it, but I mean, all that lag, even the traffic jam people possibly used to go through, that saves quite a lot.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. You see those morals that you think could end at home, they end up in your company. If the employee is broke, the family is crying left, left, and center, they can never give you any results. So it touches that you know, you develop an employee that is purposeful at his house, but also purposeful at your organization.
Wow.
Yes.
That is Mr. Sendege Stanley, the MD of Uganda Railway Corporation. Benon, transport where you are, it's a lucrative industry, I should say. And you as a director at the top, you've fought tooth and nail to make sure that there is sanity that comes back again and again. How have people like you, even the minister at the top, because I respect that entity because of two things. I see the integrity, I see the transparency, accountability. Whenever there is a time where the Honorable Minister Wamala came up and said, if I find anyone celebrating Happy New Year with a tie on my road, I'm going to arrest you. You could tell the pain of what he goes through to lobby the money from the parliament to be approved that you can have this good road, and you're messing it up. I want to understand the group at the top. How are you making sure that these values are cascaded down to the last mile within the organization?
Thank you very much, Andrew, for that question. I think I had already hinted that we have a shared value, a shared vision at the Ministry of Works and Transport. That vision, we try to cascade it down through meetings. We hold meetings every week. We are sure to tell our staff through different departments what is expected of them to do. So, end of the year, we also have a get-together. That one brings in teamwork. You find myself, I'm very free with General Gatumbo Amara. Last time.
I thought we went to the same school.
No. last time. It was amazing.
Yes.
I had the COVID. This last Christmas. All my family had the COVID. You know what he did to me?
No.
He gave me medicine, COVID medicine. He called me, said, "No." He calls me, "No," the director of transport. He said, "You come to my military assistant, you pick all the medicine I have for COVID."
You make sure you get it treated.
And I went there and I was able to pick and it was treated.
That is teamwork.
The second thing we have in Ministry of Works is that we have systems, and we must make sure that we follow the systems in place. If it's a payment voucher, it must pass through all
The entire structure.
The auditor must be able to check it. The head of department, the permanent secretary, the director, all must be able to check that. So those are some of the things we actually use. But again, to add on what Stanley was saying, I happen to have worked in railways before.
See? He's
I
on a
am a
sabbatical.
product. I am a product of railways.
But how could you be a director of transport when you've never been in transport before?
No, railways is transport.
Oh yes, I
Railways
mean
is transport.
you're on a sabbatical.
Yes, exactly. So I started my work from railways, and what I learned from railways, one is time management.
That's key.
Very key.
Any
I
Ugandan who has been abroad,
learned that ethic of managing time.
Wow.
Because I was in operations department, and I made sure every day at 6:30 I am in the control room to know where is this cargo for this customer, where is it, where was it tomorrow, where is it going, and you make a follow-up and you make sure it's delivered on time. So that one has actually built me up to where I am now. So I am what I am because of Uganda Railways Corporation.
Wow. Uganda Railway has a history. When you go abroad, we call them the metros. If the metro says it's going at 8 it will be leaving the terminal. You won't find it. Time is something of value. Stanley, looking at all this, wrapping it all up, as a country, today we are struggling with what they call mental health. Depression is a fact of life as people struggling to become better citizens and dignified citizens. They're struggling with mental health. You as an MD of such a government parastatal, I would like to know, with all these trainings, they're good, but how are you addressing this? Because especially men are not talking. They have a lot of issues they're dealing with, possibly at home, and in a way this could kill you. You can do all this investment, but when the moment the mental sanity seems to be questioned, all this goes to waste. How are you addressing this as an entity?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is important. I'll borrow on the recent experience of COVID.
Yeah.
If you read various articles that appeared in the press, in the online and what, there was the issue of, especially in Europe and America, they assessed which entities were doing well during that period.
Yeah.
Now, the factor that was picked out was empathy. Now, those employers who deployed empathy as a strategy to handle their employees really succeeded. But those who took the headline stand that you know, you must come, you must do
show
this,
up.
you must show up, they lost it. So adopting empathy is one thing we are looking at, but carefully, because even individuals sometimes they misuse empathy.
They get complacent.
They
with
get
it.
complacent with it. We are trying to balance understanding the reality of employees. If somebody is sick, do you have a medical scheme in place to ensure that people have somewhere to go for treatment? If people have personal issues, how do you come to identify, first of all, identify them, and how do you sort them out? Somehow we are lucky that in the railways we have a union. A union is a good thing.
Yeah.
So these staff have that
I hope
opportunity.
I hope it's not the union that triggers them to strike.
No. Also that I changed with this training. Actually, our union leaders and members are part of this training.
Oh, that is better.
So they are also now adopting with us and they realize what things we stand for.
Oh, yes.
So those union people are an avenue where staff go and disclose things that we don't know about. But also we are starting counseling with this club I told you about. We are starting counseling so that we offer people how can they disclose challenges and how can those issues be handled. So we recognize that it is an issue, psychologically it is an issue, but we think for us as managers to understand people and that empathy works. You can't be just too hard on the performance agreement all the time. We are flexible. You should be flexible where there is need to, but also balancing the need for delivering the assignment, but also being sure, being realistically that these are people. These are people, they fall sick, they get problems, there are problems in the communities, everywhere. Yeah, so I think that's what I can say. Yeah.
Well done. As we're finalizing this conversation, I really want to thank you, gentlemen. We should have moved this. I am very lucky and honored to be among two great men actually with this kind of wealth of experience. Director, as we're finalizing this conversation, what are your parting shots to Ugandans who have not woken up to the occasion that they have a mandate to this country, to protect it, to be proud of it, to be loyal to the country, and the opportunities that they should tap into?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that question. The message I would like to give them: all Ugandans should be patriotic. That's the starting point. Secondly, they have to be self-motivated. When you add patriotism and motivation, you get performance. That's the message. And for you to be able to perform, in addition, then the entities, the ministries, the departments must be able to facilitate the staff, must be able to set performance indicators, and then they must be able to be monitored. So that's what they can.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to add one thing.
Yes.
One thing that is killing us on morals, on integrity, patriotism, and everything is pomp. Ugandans want a lot of pomp. That's why you ask the question, vibe, yes. You said people are entitled. They're entitled just because they think, in 1 year, once you get a job, you should get a car. You should
have your own home.
You should be in the club every evening. You must own your own home. So that one is the root of the problem. And we must really work. We must work on that if we are to put these values into practice. Because patriotism, you must sacrifice some things. For you to say, I have 10K, I can give 1K to another person, you must really say, you must give up some things. Yes.
You must sacrifice.
Yes, thank you.
I think that is something very pertinent. We should live within our means.
Yes.
But again, what Sendege is saying is that we must learn to save and invest. In all that the gentleman is saying is that the little money you find and get, well, use it sparingly. save that money, invest that money, and be a patriot of this country. Now, while we're here, we had the Uganda Railway Corporation staff that was undergoing training. A couple of them have learned a couple of things. They were here for a couple of days, and we're going to go right into the clips and we understand what have they learned? How unique are they now realigned when it gets to mental sanity? What are their lenses seeing before they came and now? And how do we tap into this great occasion to become better citizens? After this, I'll return shortly.
UGANDA FIRST.
Lamwa district in Acholi sub-region, northern Uganda, is one of the 15 refugee hosting districts.
UGANDA FIRST.
The first day, the parade drills were really tiring. By the second day, I had some muscle pull, but by the third day, it was okay. And now by the time we go to the fifth day, it is just okay. What I've learned is that as I work for my own, I work, I get salary, I support my family, but also in the way I'm also impacting my country positively, because when I work as an engineer, if I make sure that the infrastructure we have in the railways is good, then it means we shall have more economical kind of growth, and so that brings growth to the country as well.
Wow.
So that I realized after this.
After this.
Yeah. Okay, so from here I have to tell my colleagues, my family, friends, that it's not just about working for self-gain, but also working to make sure that you add value to the country. What do you add? Leave a legacy that is positive and that makes our country grow. And it's not about how much you earn, or it's not how much or what job you have, but it's about what can you do for yourself. Because when you do something for yourself, then it means at the end the country realizes that positive impact of what you've done.
Before this training, you know, we have had many problems there. You have heard of strikes.
Yeah. Unions
striking. They could not know how we are performing. For them, they just request for something. We want a rise. We want this one. They want the company to meet their demands, not knowing how much we are earning. And more so, they did not see our problems. Yeah? What problems are we facing? They did not look here as a department. You know, we have people, you heard what MD said. People normally come late. For them, their intention is to come. Have they seen me working? When actually he's not working. When he comes to the computer, he goes to Google. Those are the things which he has talked about, that he doesn't want you to come, Google, come late. No, he doesn't want that one. You have come here to work, and hard work can pay.
I can imagine. How was your first day like when you came for these drills, the trainings?
At first, because I heard it from my friends that you are going there. The first crew. Yes. They told me, Master, you are going, but you are going to run. I said, I am, Mama, at my age. Will I manage? Yeah. But when I came, the running was not all that bad. It was short. And then the first day, I felt, you know, the pain, the whatever. But as time went on, I started jogging, enjoying the thing. And today, I was expecting that they were going to make a parade, and we show you what you have learned. How we do what we pick a saluti kwa mkubwa. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
So after this entire training, what have you learned? What do you see? How big are your lenses? How deep are they about the country?
Okay, you know, the most challenging thing we have in this country is our thinking. Mindset. Our mindset. People look at the country, that the country is the ruling part, or he's excelling, not knowing that the country is us. It is us, and this country is our home. It is us to make our country develop.
Actually, to me, I was wondering what I was coming to do.
You thought you knew it all?
Because when they talked of we are going to Kazi camp, I said, I'm already a police officer, now what am I going to do? However, when they talked of leadership skills, and patriotism. I said, wow, this is wonderful. I must go and find out what it takes. Yes, please.
So you came here. What was your first days like?
Well, being a police officer, it wasn't all that much. Actually, I very first got oriented with the place.
With the drills, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wonderful. What I've learned here in this course is patriotism. And I myself have served 23 years. But I had never discovered myself that surely Uganda is a motherland, and I need to love it so passionately, deep love. I have realized it, that for sure, if we are to transform our country, one, patriotism is all about opening our eyes and our understanding to see, to know the problems affecting our country. Meaning ignorance had killed us. Now that my eyes have been opened, my understanding, I have to serve my country passionately, more deeper. And I have learned as a patriot, as per our slogan, I love Uganda, I serve Uganda, I sacrifice for Uganda, I am loyal to Uganda. Now I am taking the message back, and I love myself. So as a police officer, I've learned that I need to love myself in order to protect and develop my country. And two, I must work hard to ensure that my country develops. But what has been killing us, as I've said before, is ignorance. People are very ignorant. For instance, I have learned that we cannot develop when we depend on only salary. Yeah. So I am going to tell my friends out there that please, you can even do other projects besides the police work. And that one is going to help us. You know, in patriotism, we are emphasizing on being faithful to yourself, the integrity. Now, if you have some other income project, some other projects giving you money, you cannot think of kitu kidogo. So I am going definitely to tell my colleagues that please, let us be serious. You can even do other things other than police work. And seriousness. Are you in time when you go on duty? Are you serious? Are you not conniving with the thieves? Like for us, we work with the Uganda Railway. Yes, Uganda Railway. Yes. Are you not conniving with those workers? Are you adding value to the corporation? Are you able to defend the properties of the government?
I didn't know what to expect, but I was excited because I had heard a lot about the word patriotism out in the media, out, from other people. And there's been a lot of here and there about what it actually means. Is it government related? Is it personally? Is it something to do with you personally? Is it about you loving your government or yourself or your country? And I had my own discussion or opinions on what patriotism was about. And I was looking forward to coming and getting more insight, or to actually see and learn exactly what the version of the patriotism training is all about in this place. So I was quite excited about it.
Okay.
Yes.
And you've had very many people saying that when you come for these kind of trainings, they call it indoctrination.
Brilliant.
They call it brainwashing. Is that what happens here?
Not at all. I must confess that is what I also had prior to coming here. Actually, coming here has nothing to do at all with indoctrination or brainwashing per se. It's actually more about looking into yourself, looking more into your country, looking more into your society, your work, your environment, self-development, loving your country, seeing ways how you can develop yourself and your country, your society, and people around you. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just all about changing your mindset, changing how you think for a bigger picture in developing the country, loving the country, and finding ways to develop it.
As someone who deals in finance and all, Ugandans are more susceptible to corruption and embezzlement and all that.
Yes.
Did this challenge your thinking grids when it gets to finances and accountability?
Oh yes, because it gives you the bigger picture of, you know, if you look down at the chain, when you get into such deviant activities, number one, it's illegal, but you're affecting, there's a lot of people down there you're affecting. One of our values as patriots now, per se, is to love your country and to serve your country, okay? Now, you cannot love your country and serve your country if you're actually draining your country. Now, acts like corruption, acts of draining the country, people are losing from such acts, you see, and these are things that we need to desist. Now, this training actually shows you that you don't have to be corrupt, you don't have to steal. There are lots of ways of actually making money. Number one, the earth itself, this God-given Uganda, that it gives us so much opportunity on how to diversify your income, you see, and how to make money. Now, values, of course, I don't think there are any values that promote things to do with corruption or theft, you know, or lies or disintegrity, you know. So being a patriot puts you in that same line of integrity, accountability, you know, all in all, just so that you can have a bigger picture of social development and the growth of our country, Uganda.
Well, there you had it. They heard from the different facilitators and tutors, and they now understand the country. Uganda is a land of opportunities. I've always challenged you every day. What opportunities do you see around you before you start to play the blame game, before you start to play the victim mentality card? The question is, what do you have in your hands that you can do that can add value to your country? Are you loyal to your country? Do you feel proud of your country? And what are you doing about it? Whatever you're complaining about, you yourself can change it. Are you ready to change that? This is Uganda First, and it was powered by the National Patriotism Corps, the Secretariat. We want to thank them so much. But I want to thank you, my great viewer, for watching these conversations every Thursday of the week. But not only that, taking this to action. The call to action is for you to take this conversation even further. Today we couldn't read a couple of your messages, but we really thank you so much. From the team and the entire crew, we want to celebrate you as our great viewer. Till next time, I'm Andrew Chamagiro Muntwawensi. Have a lovely day.
Uganda First.
NTV, turning on your world.
Bump Love is brought to you by...
Sometimes your skin needs a little extra care. Introducing Amara Extra Care range, specially designed for dry, sensitive or chapped skin. Amara Extra Care. Extra care with every touch.
Today we talk parental nudity. Ladies, what are the do's and don'ts on parental nudity in your homes?
Mine are a complete don't. Like total extreme don't. And they say that when they're still little babies, children, they're oblivious to anything to do with your nakedness or everything. They're still pure at heart, like the Garden of Eden. When Eve, after Eve ate the fruit is when they realized they were naked. I've seen moms and their sons, and the child is talking, literally communicating, and they are all naked in their home.
Wrong.
I don't know if it's wrong, but for me it's just strange. Like it's just weird. Like I feel there should be some kind of boundary at a certain point. But I remember for Teja himself, because they say it's you the parent, since you're the older one, it should be you to draw that line and the point, right? Because a child can go on and on without realizing that it's common decency just to be in a community, to keep yourself, and also for the lesson of these are your private parts and these are your public parts. So showing a child when what shouldn't be exposed in case of anything, because they might find themselves with some gudu and they're all naked, not realizing that the guy is naked for other reasons, because they think it's all right.
There's a parent being nude because she's wearing a bra in a party. That's one level of nudity. Then there's the level where the boobs, there's no.
Yes.
Then there's the one where there's
complete.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think it's important to also be able
Break
to
down
break
a
down
bit.
the
Yeah.
levels of
Yeah, the
nudity.
nudity.
Because the complete is really off.
Ah, no,
and
the complete, no,
complete
please,
is off,
please,
and
no,
people
leave
can.
us alone. Please.
And I think they also do it without knowing. So, ladies, has any of your children caught you naked?
Not that I